I'm a mess, such a wreck, don't forget about it. I drag myself through the dirt just to feel a little closer to the ground. Hey there, comic book dudes and dudettes. Chris the Jedi here with my end of the year review, I guess you could call it. These are going to be my 5 favorite comic books for 2011. It's Saturday night, so it's almost 2012, and I really only had a few more hours to get this done before it was actually 2012. I had kind of forgotten about it, despite the fact that I just made a video promising to do it. Anyhow, you guys know how I do the reviews. If you agree with me, hey, cool, whatever. I don't really care. These are the books that just, to me, when I read them, it was kind of, mind-blowing, or they knocked my socks off, or however you want to say it. They were just really awesome issues. Some of them that I've picked out here, there's just 5, and some of them, the reason I picked them is because of their importance and what they're leading up to, and things like that. If you watch the reviews, I read almost strictly DC, although I've been mixing it up a little bit lately, which means that the first half of the year was pretty much leading up to the New 52, and it was also, I don't know, starting maybe halfway through 2010, and up through about, up until the changeover this year. There's been some really, in my opinion, and I know in some of my friends' opinions, there's been some really bad writing in DC, and the storylines, I don't know, it's like they just dragged them out forever. So I was glad to see that New 52 start, and so I'm going to go ahead and kick this off. Now, these are in no particular order, but I do real quick want to thank my friends over at Arkham Comics, without whom I would not have any of these issues that are currently sitting here in front of me. That's where I buy like 99.98% of my comic books. Every once in a while I'll be in a store or something, or maybe I'm at a bookstore and I'm buying a cup of coffee and I just want a comic book to read right now, and I may pick one up, but I have a huge file at Arkham, and that's where all my stuff comes from. That's where my wife and I we get all our books from there. So I just want to thank them because they're always great. Again, no particular order on these. It's not like, although the very last one, the one I'm saving for the last one, is, in my opinion, the best comic book issue all year long. And saying that, if you know me, you probably already know what it is. Anyhow, we're going to jump right into this. The Flash #2. Part of the New 52. I love Francis Manapul, the way he's writing and drawing the Flash. He's by far my favorite Flash artist. Now, I love Jim Lee, and Jim Lee is drawing the Flash in Justice League, and it's okay, but Manapul is my favorite. Now, what makes issue #2 worthy of my top 5? There's this really, really awesome panel where everything kind of clicks for him, and he kind of taps into the Speed Force, and he starts seeing everything at once, and he's able to think about all these things all at one time and kind of see all the options that are laid out before him. And that's, if you know the Flash, that's a very important thing for him to be able to, really tap into the Speed Force and kind of be able to understand that world. So it was a monumental issue, in my opinion, for the Flash, and things have just gotten better from there. #1 was a great issue, but I think this one just really held something special. And just the way Manapul drew that scene, I thought it was really great. And I don't know, I probably stared at it for 5 or 10 minutes trying to make sure I captured everything that was on the page, and I really understood everything that was going on. So wow, excuse me, that was incredibly rude. The Flash #2, I thought it was great. If you're not reading The Flash, this is probably my favorite or second favorite thing to come out of the New 52. it's just I love the Flash. I've gotten this new vigor for the Flash. If you watch enough videos, I really love the Flash, and I love the way Manapul is drawing him. I love the way Manapul is writing him, and he's teamed up with Brian Buccellato. Anyhow, it's been great. So my next book, Kick-Ass 2 number should be 5. Yeah, Kick-Ass 2 number 5. Now, if you're reading Kick-Ass, first of all, you've probably been reading it all year long, and you're a little upset that you're only on issue number 5. But Miller is killing this, and so it's okay. You let it go because he's Mark Miller. But this has been a great run so far. This is the issue where Dave's dad is murdered in prison. Dave's dad is in prison, in case you did not know. Dave's dad is in prison because, I don't know. I just forgot. Just blanked. Oh, man, that's crazy. Dave's dad is in prison because he turned over the Kick-Ass costume, and you see him here. I think he's taking the rap for it. Taking the rap for Dave so that Dave doesn't have to go to prison. And, this just happens within the first few pages. Maybe the first 5 or 6 pages, you see Dave's dad. He's hung in prison. And I thought it was really cool. We also see the return of Hit Girl at Dave's dad's funeral, which is going to be huge in the coming issues. And I think I'm really excited to see where this book is going. Miller and Romita Jr. are doing great. I love it. Romita Jr. is one of my favorite artists anyhow, so I just think it's great. I will say my wife got me this really cool collection. It's like some kind of Marvel Masters collection or something like that. But it was one of the books was Romita Sr. and the other one was Romita Jr. And what issue was it? I guess it was Romita Jr.'s Daredevil number 1. And I was looking at the way he drew Matt Murdock as a kid, and looks a lot like the way he draws Dave Liszewski. So I'm not complaining about that. I love to be able to see consistency with an artist like that, and I thought that was really great. So moving on. Now this one spawned out of the New 52. I wasn't really excited about it when I first heard about it. I didn't know anything about this character. Had heard about him a little bit, but didn't know much about him. But the recommendation of Sarah at Arkham Comics, she told me that this was probably going to be really good, and that the writer has, he's just a really good writer. And so that is Animal Man number 1. This book was incredible. I really, really liked this. And Lemire is just killing it on this book. He is killing it. And Lemire's writing some great stuff right now. If you haven't read his Sweet Tooth, go read Sweet Tooth. It's great. I'd say one of the best things being written right now is Lemire's Sweet Tooth. But this is still better in my opinion. Animal Man. The reason I chose Animal Man number 1 was not because of anything specific that happened in this issue, but because of what it's unfolding, I guess, what it's setting up. Because without Animal Man number 1, you can't have any of the other Animal Man numbers. You got to start somewhere. So this was really great. Let's see that. I think Jeff Lemire is killing it. If I'm not mistaken, they're getting ready to do a big crossover with Swamp Thing, and you're starting to see that in the issues. And I mean, it's really cool to read. And Animal Man is such a different character that I think everyone should definitely at least give it kind of a shot. Just kind of give it a little bit of a shot. I think it's a great book. So that's it. Animal Man number 1 by Jeff Lemire, and that's 3 down. We have 2 more. This next one, oh my god! When I was looking through previews at Arkham, and I saw that this book was coming out, like I was so stoked. I was so excited about it, and I actually think I was about a month behind. I think I was seeing the solicitation for books 2 and 3 when I saw this, and I just went nuts for it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Now, I did choose this because this is a great #1. The way they set up this story and what happened to the Turtles, it's the same story, just told with this modern spin, and it's told by the same guy. We've got Kevin Eastman, who is one of the original Ninja Turtles creators. He's back on this, and you can really tell, like, this is just really good Ninja Turtles storytelling. When I was a kid, man, I was the hugest Ninja Turtles fan. I had garbage bags full of Ninja Turtles, and I mean, you know, all the movies and just everything. I love Ninja Turtles, and so this has been so great. It is you know, it's I don't know that 6-year-old me would have been as much into this, but man, 25-year-old me is really digging this Ninja Turtle story. I love it. It has been great, and I hope that Eastman, you know, I hope this isn't one of those things where he's just gonna ride on it for a little while and then take off and do something else, or give the reins over to someone else. I really hope he sticks with this title because it has been so good, and I'm really loving it. The background story, the origin stories that they're telling in this, it's just great. And I'm excited to see where this book goes. It'll definitely remain on my pull list. I've actually got I'm reading so many comic books that I'm going to be cutting my pull list down. But this one's staying for sure. I love this. So, that was #4. Now we're coming to #5, which actually is a #5, and I didn't plan that. I just noticed when I looked over. This book changed comic books, in my opinion. It's one of the best issues of a comic book ever written. Definitely the best for this year, in my opinion. Flashpoint #5. Now, if you have been reading comic book blogs, or if you've been looking at, I believe, IGN and all these, Comic Booked, I think, and just all these places, when they're talking about the best issue this year, this issue is almost always on the list. Because, first of all, it sets up the New 52. It sets up this whole new universe. It explains everything that's been happening in Flashpoint. And there's this, what in my opinion is probably one of the most incredible scenes in comic books ever, right here. Let's just spread this out for you. Barry Allen is giving Bruce a letter that Bruce's dad, Thomas, who became Batman in the Flashpoint universe, he's giving him a letter that Thomas wrote. And let's see, I don't have the letter memorized. I'm not a super comic-y guy, not like that. Anyhow, he writes in this letter, but it's just incredible because Bruce, he hadn't had any contact with his parents since he was a kid because of their death, and now he's got this this handwritten letter, and it's signed "Love always, your father Thomas," and you see a little tear come out of Bruce's eye. I thought this was great. The only thing that I can say, now that I think about it, that's disappointing, is Geoff Johns' writing was so great throughout this Flashpoint series that I've been a little bit disappointed with Justice League. Not a lot. Like, I think Justice League is still great, and even Aquaman 2. Those are two titles that are great, but because of how awesome Flashpoint was, they're not as good as I thought they were going to be. But anyhow, those are my books. If you haven't started reading any of the New 52, maybe you don't really understand it and you're thinking you can't catch up, go on eBay or something and pick up Flashpoint #5. And I really think you can get enough of an idea of what's happening just from Flashpoint #5. Like I said, to me that's the best issue all year long. Thanks for sticking through this and me yawning and being rude and things like that. And again, hey, if you agree, hey, that's great. It's awesome that we like the same books. If you don't agree and you think that my book sucked, I don't really care. You can make your own video. You can pick your own top 5 and you can do whatever you want to do. These are my top 5. Like I said, some of them were issues that may not have stuck out as the best ever, but they were just so much fun to read, or they led into something great. So keep an eye out. Tomorrow starts a new year, so happy New Year, nerds. Just be looking out, because every week I'm gonna start back on my videos. I think I'm gonna change them up a little bit, but I am going to be doing them. And so everyone have a very safe and happy New Year. And I hope that all your resolutions are kept all year long. And I hope you stick right here with me, Chris the Jedi, all year long. May the Force be with you.